Preserve, named with unabashed irony, it had sprawled across the shoulders of Black Mountain, the most formidable of those angry-looking peaks, and one that had been sacred to the Lakota tribe, the original settlers of the area. The Lakota once had hunted the area too, but they had taken only what they needed for survival and had offered up apologies to their gods each time an animal had fallen. Things had changed, of course. The Lakota long since slaughtered, the few survivors displaced. For a time, their sacred mountain had become a place where world-class high rollers had come to stalk ibex, gazelle, bison, bighorn sheep. Were one to pay enough, Bright mused, one might have shot oneself a rhino up there, chased after a snow leopard with an automatic weapon, tracked down some bewildered elephant too old for the circus, or stolen from some zoo, finished it off with a bazooka or a sidewinder missile, whatever turned the hunter in oneself on. The ranch had finally gone under, but there was talk of what storybook creatures had escaped or been left behind and were still roaming that far-flung wilderness. All of them fair game, free game now, for the intrepid hunter and for what seemed to be the freelance expedition such as that traveling the lonely road just ahead. Time to bring that party back to its senses, Bright thought. Time to remind them how careless men can be. He nudged the accelerator of the big Ford Expedition, brought his window down, and reached to place the magnetic lamp onto the roof. It wasn't actually a policeman's light, of course, just as the uniform and the siren belonged to no jurisdiction, but they would help him get the job done. At first, the Suburban ignored the flashing blue light, but Bright had expected that. He nicked the siren a couple of times, then held it, its unearthly squawks and whoops doubling and redoubling off the deep canyon walls. Another mile, and the Suburban finally slowed, then bumped down grudgingly onto a turnout 100 feet or so above the stream that sawed with timeless patience at the canyon floor below. Bright had turned off the siren, but allowed the flasher to continue its whirl as he got out. The moment he emerged into the still air, the heat struck at him. The better part of 2 miles up, but it was ovenish hot, as close and as hot here, it seemed, as it had been on the plains below. What kind of hunting weather was it, anyway? "Some kind of problem?" It was a burly man who addressed him, the driver of the Suburban stepping down onto the gravel, so quiet Bright could hear the crunch beneath the man's spit-polished boots. 5'11", maybe 6 feet, a close-shaved head the shape of a concrete block, no discernible neck. With a massive chest above a formidable gut, he went perhaps 240, and Bright, himself 6'2", his 200 pounds easily concealed in the loose uniform he wore, knew what it would feel like to hit him. "Please take your hands out of your pockets," Bright told him evenly. The man glanced down, then back inside the open compartment of the Suburban, rolling his eyes. Bright heard something spoken inside, an answering guffaw of laughter. There were 4 of them altogether, 1 standing by the road in front of him, 3 hidden behind the smoked windows of the Suburban. Convinced he'd taken enough time to make his point, the driver took his hands out of his fatigue-fashioned pants and opened his palms to Bright. "You worried I was gonna shoot you?" the man said. He offered a smile that came across as a leer. Bright's own expression was neutral. "I'd like to have the others out of the truck," he told the man. "What the hell's this about?" the driver said, taking a step toward him. Bright didn't back away, simply held up his hand. Something in the gesture must have communicated itself to the man. He gave Bright an exasperated glance, then turned to the open doorway. "He wants you to get out," the man called. A chorus of groans and muffled curses. The door nearest Bright swung open, and a tall man with a camouflage cap mashed atop his unkempt dark hair got out, kicking a beer can onto the gravel. Hams, Bright noted. From the land of sky...